take one. It's filming. All right, then. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tony Paparo of Mastery Golf Systems, and today I'm with Michael Manaley, and we're here to work on his golf game. We're going to have a little conversation first so I know what his needs are, and that way I can individualize the program just for him. Hi, Mike.
Here we go.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, I've been playing golf since I was 11. Kind of all right. Always been like the low teens to high single figures in terms of my swing. But I consistently hit a fade. I've learned to play to it. One thing that's bothering me at the moment is because I've started working out more, I just have no idea how far I hit the ball. I had a big break between sort of like my teenage years, early 20s, when I was playing a lot of golf. And then work got in the way. And now I play when I'm invited or when I'm allowed by my wife. And I get round in mid to low 80s, but I can't seem to get back to, knowing that a par's coming. I'm like, okay, I'm going to play for bogey right now.
Okay.
So I guess it'd be good to understand what your method is for fixing someone who feels like they know quite a lot about golf. Obviously not a lot as you. And yeah, I'm curious. I mean, the big thing for me is like, I hit a fade. I know there's probably a lot of people out there who have a shot that they hit. Where do you start with correcting that?
Okay. So, do you know why you fade?
I think I know why I
Okay.
fade. The obvious thing is the club face is open at impact.
Very good. So what does your body do wrong to put the club face in that position?
I mean, that's an interesting question because I actually think that a lot of my issues are to do with my hands being too fast. But I could be way off here. I think I have a good backswing, you know.
Okay. And how many years have you been trying to get rid of your fade or trying to control it?
Well, I'm 35 now, and I started playing when I was 11, so you can figure that out.
So, how did you think you were going to get rid of the fade?
I've been trying to address impact.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people out there talking about impact, and I've recorded myself in slow motion, and the thing that seems to be obvious to me is my hands go from here to here really, really quick.
Okay.
And I think that has something to do with it. So I've been trying to hold off and
Right. Okay.
get the hips through. And
So what has been your practice method? What do you do to get rid of that? Are you hitting balls?
I go to the driving range and hit balls until I'm exhausted.
Okay. And so you've been hitting golf balls for what, 25 years to try to get rid of it?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay. And you thought that if you hit enough balls, it might go away?
But in fairness, there is logic behind that, because I used to work at a golf club, and I went and I saw a chap there who was a former Ryder Cup player from a long time ago, and he said to me, we just used to hit balls. And I watched him hit balls, and he hit 7-iron stiff, like 50 balls within 2 feet, and it was like, the only way you get this good is if you hit balls, Mike.
Right.
So I used to practice till my hands bled.
Yeah. The problem with that is how many more balls are you going to have to hit on an inconsistent basis, meaning you don't get to the driving range every day,
Yeah.
to get rid of that slice, or fade rather.
I mean, how long's a piece of string?
That's right. You can't learn to do something right by doing it wrong over and over again.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in the process, you create a lot of improper ball flight. Okay, poor ball flight doesn't go where you want it to. And when that happens, that sticks in your memory. So when you go out and play in a golf course, there's self-doubt either in your conscious mind or at the subconscious level is, where's this ball going? And that's a problem that activates your fight or flight reaction. And when that happens, there'll be a discussion for another day, but it's not good.
No.
Okay, so what I want to do is tell you a little bit about how I would approach this.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, you're not going to hit golf balls.
just for everybody watching, I obviously thought I was going to the driving range today when Tony said he was coming over, so I'm dressed and ready to go and play golf. And the first thing he said was, we're not going to the golf club. So, okay, let's roll with that.
Okay. The other thing is, how often did you go to the driving range?
I mean, I used to go very often.
But how often are you going now?
Not very often.
Okay. In order to change a behavior into a new behavior, in other words, you want a golf swing that works for you all the time. Swing in, swing out. Day in, day out. Round in, round out. Okay? You have to practice doing something right 60 times a day for 21 to 30 consecutive days. Okay? That's universal. That's science. You can't change a behavior unless you're doing something right that often. Which means, number one, you can't go to the driving range every day. So you have to practice at home. Okay? And we're going to do it in a way that you're not creating poor ball flight. Because that, as I said, sticks with you. And so we're going to go through, the way I teach is teaching you through stop action drills, emphasizing 6 important positions. Okay, we're going to use address, takeaway, backswing, downswing, follow through, and actually a 7th position, which is finish. And you're going to learn those in a way that you don't activate your eyes, because 75% of the visual information that we respond to on a daily basis is visual in nature. So your eyes want to see what the club is doing. You've heard to keep your eyes on the ball,
right,
which is an incorrect way of saying it. But when you think about your mechanics, or think about what you have to do right, your eyes are going to try to determine if you're doing it right or not. So one of the things that we're going to do is have you close your eyes when you do the drills, number 1. Number 2, I want you to be able to retrieve the proper motion instinctively and automatically from memory. And the way you do that is to initiate every move using a swing cue. It's called classical conditioning. Okay, you've heard of Ivan Pavlov?
Yes.
Okay, for those people who haven't, Ivan Pavlov was a behavioral psychologist. He observed dogs salivating every single time that they were fed raw meat. He wondered, can I get them to salivate in the presence of another stimulus? And so what he does is every time they were fed raw meat, he rang a bell. He did it so often that eventually, when he rang the bell, even if there wasn't meat there, the dog still salivated. So what we're going to do is condition your swing to a specific swing cue. And that's going to change throughout the process. But every time you initiate a move, you're going to say, like to learn the backswing, you're going to say turn, and then you're going to turn. Don't worry if you get it wrong, because we'll correct it at the end of the move.
Okay.
And then you hold that move for 3 to 5 seconds, thinking turn. So standing there in that position creates memory. And using the term turn to pair it with that term every single time you do the move and hold that position for 3 to 5 seconds, your brain and your subconscious mind are working, and your body are working subconsciously, instinctively, to correct the motion to get to the right position back here. So you never have to figure out what you did wrong.
Okay.
Okay? And when we do the drills, you'll understand it right away, and it doesn't take long to correct a movement flaw.
So help me out a little bit here then, because we just touched on some psychology there. I understand you to be a golf professional. I understand that there is some psychology involved in the game. Maybe not for my benefit, but for anyone watching, what is your actual background, Tony? Is it pure golf, or is there some psychology in there as well?
I started out as a player longer than you've been alive, and I became very interested because when I became a golf coach and golf instructor, I saw great athletes having difficulty when it came to the game of golf. They had no clue. I seen golfers with great practice swings whose swing turned into a series of slashes, swats, and lunges when they had to hit a golf ball. I saw golfers who had great swings in the practice range transform from Dr. Jekyll into Mr. Hyde when they got into the golf course and made all these errors. And golfers who played well.
Okay. We'll keep rolling, why not? I guess the sun went. We'll edit this bit out.
Yeah. That's good.
Hey. Let me just check there. All right then. Yeah, that'll work. We can edit to that.
Okay. And I saw golfers who played really well, except when they had to put it all on the line in the heat of competition. So I've developed a 4-part system to mastery golf systems. Number 1, you develop the fundamental golf skills without hitting balls. Number 2, you develop the proper focus attention, which when we're doing the full swing is a target orientation. Number 3 is how you alter your practice techniques on the driving range to help you play better. See, if you play poorly on the golf course, but you're hitting the ball well on the range already, you go back to the range and hit more good golf shots, that's not going to help you when you go play. So the first one is to get rid of the visual distractions that are on the golf course that aren't on the driving range. All the hazards, the trees, the bushes, all water hazards, out of bounds, sand traps, all those kinds of things. And you have to be able to keep your attention away. You have to know that they're there, but then go back into your target orientation without that playing in the back of your mind so that it causes your eyes to move and change your swing. And then I'm going to teach you about the fight or flight syndrome, and then what that does to you physically, visually, mentally, behaviorally, and emotionally, that those things destroy your golf swing. And then I'm going to teach you a routine. It's called accessing the zone routine. And literally, you'll be able to transform your nervous system from fight or flight into your best peak performance instantly. Okay? But those are 4 steps that take a while. But we're going to start with helping you develop your physical fundamentals first through these drills.
And then, I guess, I'm going to ask you, I might sound like I'm already making excuses for myself here, but
Okay.
I think, having played a lot of golf, that perhaps the clubs that I'm using right now have a slightly softer shaft than what I'm used to. I used to play with stiff rifle
Okay.
shafts when I was a kid, and now I've got regular graphite shafts because I thought, I don't want to try and hit it a million miles.
Right.
I got a set of clubs. It was a present from my darling wife, and I just started hitting balls. Is there any part of the process, if you're not next to someone like we are today, if you're doing this over a Skype or Zoom call, is there any part of the process that includes having a conversation about the equipment and what's going on there?
That's not a conversation I would have, but there are so many pros around who have club fitting, video with TrackMan, where they can tell you how far you're hitting it with different shafts and different club heads. That's where you would go to make sure that your equipment is fit for you.
Okay.
So club fitting is very, very important to this process, and can have effect on your performance. And if you're not getting the performance you want, you instinctively try to change the swing to fit the clubs, and that's not going to work for you.
Okay. All right, let's do some drills, guys. I just want to